we don't believe in ourselves, no one else will. And so people have to see that you're invested in what you say, who you say you are, and what you're about. People have to see that first before they can come along and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to join your mission and vision, you know? And so that's what Maximize Your Life Tour is all about. We were in LA a couple months ago. Unfortunately, we didn't know each other, so I would have invited you. But
thank you.
yeah, we're going to Chile next week to a leaders conference, and Phoenix, New York is on the schedule. And so, if you're listening and you'd like us to come to your town or city, we can definitely make that happen. Just reach out.
So when are you circling back to LA again?
Yeah, you have to bring me. You have to invite me. We have to work together.
Okay, sure, we will.
It'll be great.
Yeah, and what you said is so it reflects back to my own experience as well. Everything you said, and one point I want to just kind of piggyback on what you said is everybody has unique, like you say, fingerprint, and everybody's story is unique. There's no duplication on everybody's own story, and of course, story. Just like we watch movie, if it's so flat, like linear, like you said, it'll be boring, right?
Right.
The movie has to have up and down, peak, high peak, climax. So I say this before, like your story right now might have a lot of downside or obstacles, but your story today will be including your later you'll be your part of your success story. So I think you are a good example of that.
Oh, you too.
Yeah. And so, however, during the journey, a lot of people have negative self-talks, myself too. So I want to see how your personal, how you overcome negative self-talk, or how do you advise when you do coaching people, how do they overcome negative self-talks?
Yeah, so I think for the first thing is part of the whole self assessment piece, If I am waking up and I'm going to watch the news, that's the first thing I go to do, or I am going to talk to my neighbors, or I'm going to talk to a family member who's always miserable, or I'm going to be feeling that eventually, it will take a toll on you. But I think that the first thing is doing the assessment of like, what are you consuming? Whether it's music, whether it's media, whether it's the news, and I'm not saying don't do it, but I think that you have to have some type of filter, some level of filter. Like for example, there a certain time, and some people may think like this is an extreme, but I stopped watching certain movies a long time ago. I just that doesn't feed me. That doesn't make me feel well. The words I hear, I don't really agree with. And so I just said, it's not for me. And I don't watch those types of movies. And I feel better,
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people, like friendships, and even I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound harsh, but even some family members, I have had to have limited interaction because they just drain your energy or bring you down. And it doesn't matter what you say, they are not going to change. So I think that each person watching and listening has to make a decision. Who do you want to be? What type of life do you want? Because it's your life. And so you have to make the decision. I know that, it's hard, but you may have to limit what you consume or assess what you're taking in, whether it's, media, movies, news, robbing, stealing, killing. I mean, and we need to know what's going on in the world. I'm not saying that either. We need to know, but we're doing that all day, every day, right?
Yeah, I am on a news diet over a year now, so I'm saying news diet. Yeah, news diet, and of course we need to know, what's going on around the world. But I think, like you said, decision choices of your resource or where you consume is very important.
Exactly.
And also music actually. Like we recently have that, scandal news about Diddy, so what music you choose, you pick is also important as well.
Very important. Like I don't listen to music that degrades women or children, or that's just promoting silliness, foolishness of you know, for me, I'm looking for content, whether it's music or a movie or a video or like what we're doing, a friendship, a conversation that's going to edify me, that's going to empower me, that's going to add value to me, that's actually going to help me to continue to stay where I'm at or get better. Right. So like if it doesn't align with that, it's just not me. And that's hard at first because you're learning, you're like what Alvin Toffler said, right? You're learning, unlearning, and relearning. And that's difficult. And it's difficult.
Right. Because especially when you get past 30s, right? because we kind of have, like you said, fixed mind, fixed belief, and you want people to, forget about, throw away. It's like you walking, naked, in a way, and then you have to relearn everything. So it's like empowerment, like listening to you, or if we pick some podcast show to listen like this.
Like this
with a great guest like yourself, it's very empowering. And do you have any last message that you want to share with our audience? Like all the things we talk about, you have anything to add on?
For sure. First of all, thank you, Shelbe, for having me today. I really appreciate it. I hope that we can continue to work together to make this world a better place.
Yes, of course.
I think that, if I could share anything, is that wherever you find yourself now, even if you're doing well, things can get better. So do the self-assessment of where you're at and why are things, the way they are. And be careful. I know sometimes we want to be victim, or it's easy to make ourselves the victim, but I think having somebody give you feedback, like having an outsider, whether you have a partner or a spouse or a counselor, to give you feedback to see if what you were thinking and feeling actually is correct. Because sometimes we can think things that are not correct.
Right.
Get the assessment and feedback and that's where I think a coach comes in, but you can find that with a friend or whoever. The other thing is that challenge yourself in this next year, that you're going to shake things up in your life. You're going to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And what I mean by that is that you can grow and you can learn and you can become better. You can extend your influence and your impact. And you can do that by continuously modifying behaviors. And, you just continue to grow. And I think that adopting that flexible, adaptable mentality, that mindset, is key to us maximizing our lives. So the time is now. You can maximize your life, right? You can be the best version of yourself. I'm telling you, I'm a witness. I'm a person that I've hit rock bottom before, okay? And we didn't have time to talk about all of that today, but I've hit rock bottom to the point of, thinking like, man, I don't even want to live anymore. To now, I'm living a life of purpose, of flourishing, healthy, and I can't wait to get up every day. I don't even like going to bed because I'm like, I don't want to go to bed. But we have to rest, right? So I get up, like you said, supercharged, ready to conquer the day and help others. And so I think that do those few things and your life will be better.